Welcome to the tutorial on how to string a micro corner pocket. I want to thank Inside Lacrosse for sending me the materials, which includes crosslays, a sidewall string, the heads, and of course the micro mesh. All these, minus the heads, can be found on gymalax.com, which makes high quality pocket products. Now, you see me cutting the mesh in half. This is because in the corner pocket, the middle of the pocket is mesh, and the outside of the pockets is a custom, similar to a traditional. Now, when you cut micro mesh, you want to cut it exactly in half. Fold it, count the diamonds, do whatever you need to cut it exactly in half. Every now and then, you will see me check up on if I'm cutting it even. Furthermore, when you cut it, this cut piece will have one side that is uncut and the other side which is cut. The cut side will have an extra diamond on that side, on the width. Now, this will come to your benefit when you start stringing. Now, use a torch or a lighter to melt the edges. This is a cut side on the diamond that you will not be using. However, you do need to keep it. Make sure you have a lighter that works with enough fuel in it. Otherwise, you'll have to be like me and go fetch another lighter. Ta-da! I'm back. Now, I prefer to use a barbecue lighter since the flame is very large and you can actually point it instead of having to go up, but you can use a regular lighter or a Zippo if you want. Now, melt the edges. It's time for you to do the top string. Fold the mesh in half, fold the mesh over, so one diamond overlaps. Notice, one side looks like a 10 diamond top string, and the other side looks like a 9 diamond top string. This is very simple to do top string. Run it through like a regular mesh pocket, except you want to start on the hole inside, so the first hole, and end with the fourth hole on the top string of the head. Now run it through the diamond. Skip a diamond and run it through, or just run it through for the top string. How you do the middle greatly varies with what kind of head you have. On the Evo, it's pretty evenly spaced out, so I was able to get it nice and even fairly simply. But if you have a different head with varying dimensions, you might need to experiment a bit for you to get a even top string. Now, pull it nice and tight across, and I prefer to double knot it over. Now it's time for you to do the sidewall. Get the correct length, do a square knot, whatever knot you like, and run it through the head. This is probably the simplest part. No real need for explanation. Just run it through, pull it back out, loop it over. Now leave one hole on the bottom. You will need that hole for the custom pocket, or the guts of the pocket. Do the same on the other side. Now it is time for you to do the runners. Now for the runners, you want to get a length about twice to 3 times as much as the head, just to be safe. Melt the edges and pull it through the outer top string holes on the head. Now on the cut side, as you see me working on there, you want to skip a diamond to the inside, so one diamond should be left outside, and weave it through. You see me just weaving one through, which makes it a lot easier so you actually visualize. If you look carefully, you see one diamond left to the right of the string. Now, like shooting string, just weave it through. It should be a nice weave on both sides, inside and outside of the pocket, with mesh in this case. Make it nice and even. What you can do is just pinch the strings from the top and pull it down to make it nice and even. You see me doing that periodically throughout the weaving process. Do the same exact thing on the other side. However, on the uncut side, you can just go through the most outer diamond, like you see there. Now this video has been sped up, so it doesn't bore you to death. However, stringing a pocket like this does take quite a bit of time and practice. Normally, I don't record my stringings, so I do string a lot quicker than this. However, actually the recording process does take some time. So please bear with me on this. Now after you finish the runners, it is time for you to put the runners through the bottom outside holes. Similar to the bottom strings, just pull it nice and tight, nice and even, and do a simple square knot or a figure 8 knot with both the strings. Pull it nice and tight, pull on the mesh to make sure it's tight. Now it's time for you to do the bottom strings. Bottom string, using the 2 inside holes, just put it through the hole, weave it across the mesh on where the runners came out, and pull it through the other hole, make it nice and tight. Now this is the most tricky part of the pocket, which is the actual twist or the guts of the pocket. This will provide depth and the channel. Now the top part should be the tightest, and where you want the pocket should be the loosest, and ending it should be pretty tight. What you do is pull the string through the sidewall hole, attach it to the mesh. Now notice, when you attach it, you want to go through the hole, over the top, come under the mesh, under the string, and pull it above the string that is across the mesh. Go leave a hole, pinch it, go back through the mesh, come back up through the hole you left when you pinched it, and pull it nice and tight. And then when you actually twist it, coming back to the outside of the head, go underneath and pull it over and make it nice and tight. And then do the same knot you did on the mesh on the sidewall string. This does take a bit of practice to get right, and when you do the twist, make sure they are twisted nice and even.